I now request our coordinator, DST Center for Policy Research at Punjab University, Chandigarh, for formal welcome address and setting the context of the floor. Over to you, Professor Nirmal.
Thank you, Dr. Radhika. Ms. Komal had to join in the morning. She had again text, but I think there she has some problems. So first of all, very good afternoon to all. Respected Professor Anupama Sharma, Dean of Alumni Relations, Punjab University, Chandigarh, Professor Sanjeev Sharma from UIBS, and Mr. Ranjan Mukherjee, Mr. Pranav Sharma, faculty members, researchers, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure for me, on behalf of DST Center for Policy Research, Punjab University, to welcome you all to today's webinar, Leverage AI to Innovate Faster, which is very important, taking into context the modern age of cutthroat competition. We all know that innovation has traditionally been seen as a domain for humans, given their unique ability to innovate. However, there are some certain constraints in information processing, and AI can be used to deliver higher quality, greater efficiency, and better outcomes than human experts. And today, human organized innovation management plays a key role in companies and their capacity to reinvent themselves through exploratory initiatives. Our speakers today, Mr. Ranjan Mukherjee and Pranav Sharma, as Radhika has just mentioned, will demonstrate their recently launched software, Excel Scout, and AI algorithm to perform technology and computer landscapes, which operates at lightning speed and highly accurate. This is very important for the young researchers, because in the beginning they really do not have any idea about how to search, how to conduct these search engines, and how to operate so that they can even change their way of research. So welcome everyone once again, and now would like to welcome Professor Anupama Sharma, Dean of Alumni Relations at Punjab University. She's a very dynamic lady who has been instrumental in strengthening the alumni bonding of the university by her efficient working. So, ma'am, thank you again from all of us, and please, we welcome you to give a special address to the audience.
Thank you, Professor Nirmala. Thank you so much, dear Mr. Ranjan Mukherjee and Pranav Sharma and Mr. Mukta Bharadwaj, worthy colleagues of Punjab University and dear participants. A very good afternoon. And it's given me immense pleasure as a representative of Punjab University Alumni Association, to welcome, although she may join Ms. Komal. She was busy too. We always want that our alumni members should keep on coming back to our university. And under the dynamic leadership of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, who is also the President of Punjab University Alumni Association, we are trying to connect the alumni with their roots, with a renewed vigor. And our Punjab University Alumni Association beckons all its alumni to join the association so as to instill a feeling of bonhomie. We welcome you all to the Punjab University. It is indeed very laudable for DST CPR to invite our alumni members to share their experiences and expertise on patent search. And it is bound, I am very sure that the session will be a very informative one. As you all know, the century is the century of technology. And with the beginning of 21st century, we have seen the global economy where knowledge is given due importance. It signifies the application of human creativity and innovation for the upliftment of the economy. In this competitive world where creativity and innovations are necessary, it is important to protect one's own ideas, products, and designs from being copied or utilized without proper authorization. And we all know that patents are now seen as enormous repositories. Those who are in R&D, we see patents as a repository of human innovation and knowledge, as well as a class of property that can be owned, traded, and leveraged, which was not probably 3, 4 decades back, it was not that important. And in this emerging scenario, the nation's economic status depends upon the production, distribution, and use of knowledge and information. And intellectual property rights play a major role in the protection of knowledge, creativity, and skill, thereby rewarding the innovations and value creation. And intellectual property equips its rightful owners with an exclusive right and at the same time prevents illegal usage or infringement of their intellectual property. When everyone is so conscious about intellectual property, it is a common practice to do a preliminary patent search for his or her invention we are doing. However, we may search and find nothing when there are things that would be found by a professional researcher. And the advancement of technology through incremental interventions has made it a tough job for innovators and even tougher job for professional searchers to identify appropriate prior work in a fixed time frame. And for searching patents manually in the library of patent offices to the use of complex algorithms, patent searching has indeed become a highly sophisticated job. A new generation of patent analysis tools applying big data analytics, cloud technologies, modern software development, and data improvement techniques have emerged. And I must compliment the DST Center for Patent Policy Research for playing a pivotal role in sensitizing the faculty and researchers on various aspects of patenting. It is a happy augury that our own alumni, Ms. Komal Sharma, has agreed for torchbearer and her team. They have agreed to be the torchbearer in this mission. I compliment and my salutations and best wishes to the organizing team. Thank you so much and welcome to this webinar.
Thank you, Professor Anupma. Mamta, carry this forward.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Professor Anupama, and thanks for elaborating about the significance of IP search and securing it. And I'm sure in the coming future, Punjab University will be one of the top universities in patent filing in India and worldwide. So before going to next session, let me introduce our participant with today's guest speaker, Ms. Komal Sharma Talwar. So Komal is the founder and director of leading international intellectual property and technology consulting and analytics firm, TP Consultants, based in Mohali. She is also a co-founder of Excel Scout, a product-based company that identified the market need of an advanced, faster, innovative solution to automate the standard workflow of IP searches. Excel Scout has been widely used by more than 500 companies, top universities, research institutions, and law firms globally. This product has won the various awards and recognitions in many national as well as international platforms. So Ms. Komal was also selected Chevron Research Science and Innovation Fellowship at University of Oxford. The awards received by Komal ma'am are as the Emerging Women Entrepreneur of the Year 2011 at the Indus Entrepreneurs Sri Shakti Awards. She also has been awarded by Embassy of Israel at Start Tel Aviv in the year 2016 and the Pick a Startup in Israel. The list does not end here. She is the member of the prestigious World Economic Forum Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution, San Francisco. She has been selected as a task force member on artificial intelligence by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. She is the member of Startup Ecosystem of Punjab Infotech to facilitate startups, set up incubation centers, accelerators in the state. She is also the member of CII Council. Her achievements has also been recognized for women entrepreneurship by Captain Amrinder Singh, the former Chief Minister of Punjab. One more thing I just want to add here is she is the alumnus of our university, Punjab University, and DST Center for Policy Research has done various assignments with the ma'am from TT Consultants, and we look forward for more collaboration in future too. So we are very proud of you, ma'am, and wish you all the success in your future
Thank
endeavors.
you. Thank you, Mamta. It's always a pleasure to be with, the DST Center, Punjab University. And we've had a long association with you. And thank you again for the opportunity to present our proprietary AI-based innovation tool to the esteemed audience today. More than anything else, I think the thing that makes me the most proud is that ExcelPath, Excel Scout is 100% made in India product. All the R&D has been done in India, and we are only about 10 companies in the world. The only Indian one, I think, to have such a length and breadth of innovation data, which includes patent and non-patent, with very powerful AI technology. And we take a lot of pride in the comprehensiveness and the accuracy of our data layers. We all know that in artificial intelligence, the main thing is your quality of data, right? And if your quality of data is not accurate, it's not clean, it's not standardized, then we call it garbage in, garbage out. You will put in, you'll get inaccuracy, you'll put inaccuracy in and you'll get inaccuracy out. Now, it's great to have data, but what is really important is that in today's world where we have so much data, like if you look at the statistics, about 3 million patents get filed every year. You have about 200 million non-patent documents in the world. Now, this is amazing set of data, but what do you do with that data? Can you apply technologies over all the world's innovation data to get actionable intelligence, which is useful for innovators? So that's the space we are in. And I believe that any business which is founded for a reason, right? You're either improving a business model or you're creating social impact. So there is a reason that we were also founded. We ran, TT Consultants, we've been running that for about 15 years. And we work with the best names in the world, the best technology companies. And while we worked with all of them, we realized that, it's a great business. You make a lot of money, you make a lot of name, but the whole process of patents is very expensive. It's very time consuming. It's beyond most innovators in the world, right? So if you're a student or you're a faculty member, or you're just a simple innovator with not very deep pockets like companies like maybe Samsung or Apple, then how do you leverage all that data, and how do you take that in your hands to guide your R&D at the right time, to make your research more efficient? So that's the reason we were really invented. That we really thought that how do we democratize innovation across the world? And also the usage of the legacy search database. If you've ever used an Orbit or a PAT base, any of these databases, they are very difficult to navigate. Only IP professionals can understand the permutations and combinations. So we thought that we should invent something which can give the power of innovation in the hand of the real innovators. And we believe that innovation data should be accessible to every innovator in the world, and they should be able to check whether their idea is novel or not, what is happening in a technology area, what kind of collaborations can they get into, who's doing what in the space, etc. Now, we've spent a lot of time, money, and effort on building technologies. My team will be showing you some of these very proprietary technologies, like we have the Corpus, which is a machine learning model. It's based on 3 billion neural network concepts, which enables a very simple novice to do a comprehensive search based on AI suggested synonyms and concepts. And universities like Fraunhofer, IIT Chennai, and many others are testimonial to the power of our tools to democratize innovation, wherein students and faculty members are using the product. And people have given us testimonials, these universities, to show that there has been an increase in the IP filings. And it's reduced the dependence on one or two people in tech transfer departments by giving the power of innovation in the hands of all in a university or research institute. The Indian Patent Office is currently using our technology to make sure that the prior art searching is done faster so that more patents can be granted in India. We've just come up with our latest version, Excel Scout. We will show you glimpses of that today, where we do landscape searches. These are revolutionary. They are based on explainable AI, which is a glass box approach, and they have the highest levels of accuracy in the industry. We've done case studies on manual versus the automated versions, and we have a 95% accuracy. We've also recently worked on the world's largest problem set, where we've read through all the world's patents. We've annotated the problems described in each patent. Our project has been funded by the Government of Canada, where PhDs in NLP from Western University have spent almost a year working on this project with senior professors. So we'll demonstrate all these technologies to you today, because we believe that in today's time, when technology is moving so fast, the data is increasing exponentially, it's very important to use these technologies so that you can leverage data to get actionable insights, which can drive your innovation and R&D decisions. So I'll pass on the podium to Pranav and Ranjan, who will demo the product to you today. And then maybe we can have questions, answers on how it can assist you in your research endeavors to make you more efficient and to make you more productive. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay. In the next session, we are going to have Mr. Pranav Sharma and Mr. Ranjan Mukherjee from TT Consultant Mohali. So, Mr. Pranav is the Chief Marketing Officer of Excel Scout Labs, which is being used by many universities, companies, law firms to transform conventional IT workflows. He is experienced in providing technology and IT consultancy to universities and companies globally. He has worked closely with many among Fortune 500 companies and has around 8 years of experience in IT industry. So Mr. Pranav will be accompanied by another expert, Mr. Ranjan Mukherjee, who is working as development manager at Excel Scout Labs. We welcome you both. So Pranav and Ranjan will be demonstrating AI-based most advanced search engine, which is called Excel Scout, as mentioned earlier. So I request all the participants to be ready with the queries, which I'm sure will be there after their talk, as this search engine is very helpful and advanced to get insight on how you can secure your and exploit your research outcomes in India and worldwide. So platform is yours, Mr. Pranav. So Pranav and Ranjan, over to you. You can start your presentation.
Thank you, Professor Nirmala, Professor Anupama, and Mamta. Thank you for this opportunity. And what I'll do, I'll give you a brief glimpse about in a presentation, like how we are doing, what are the use cases that we do have in our product. And then my colleague Ranjan and Gaurav will be there to assist you with all the questions. And Ranjan will take you through all the modules, new developments, and the products which are widely used by universities. And then if you guys have any questions, anybody from the audience or also from the faculty members, we would be happy to take that forward. Okay. So the topic of the presentation is leverage AI to innovate faster. How we can, how AI or technologies like machine learning, natural language processing, how those technologies can be nurtured so that pace of innovation can be improved. What kind of insights that we get from the data which is already published, maybe in terms of publications, patents, and then using that information to align our research and development and getting the protection which is more valuable. So keeping this in mind, as Komal has already told about the group companies that we do have, the group companies TT Consultants, where we are consulting Fortune 500 companies, universities all across the globe, any kind of work, maybe with respect to patent filing, analysis, commercialization of the patents, we assist them as a backend. So any kind of due diligence that is required, that we do under TT Consultants. And Excel Scout, ExcelPat is a product that we give to the companies globally, as well as the universities, research organizations. If they want to do a research by themselves, then they can use the product, where what we have focused upon to provide a very simple platform so that anybody who has an idea in their mind or somebody who wants to innovate in light of what is happening already in the global market, so that they can leverage the technology to conduct that kind of searches. So keeping this in mind, I think it is not about filing patents, but about protecting valuability. What does it mean? It means that today, lot of companies, we have seen that the ROI that are coming out of patents, which is return on investment, is even in case of universities where they all are in the rat race of filing patents, the consideration should be much more on filing valuable ideas so that those can be protected. Why this is important? Because there is a lot of investment that goes into filing in a patent or protecting some particular ideas. Because it's a process, you have to protect the ideas, you have to first appear for global front or maybe file at a national phase. There is a lot of fees attached to it. So in terms of the IP strategy, or in terms of protecting the valuable ideas, it's very important to first able to analyze that whether that idea which you are planning to file has some value attached to it or not. So there are a lot of ideas which comes in and goes out within a university, within a college, or within an organization. But it is very important how you nurture that idea. So maybe from the low level to the high level, if you see, everyone might be brainstorming about the problems which are being faced, maybe in the industry, maybe in the particular subject that they are currently studying in the masters or during their doctorate. So there are a lot of ideas where brainstorming happens, but how to nurture that ideas is very important. So how to record each idea being generated, that is very important, and how to identify the brightest ones, which are the most important ones. So generally the process, I would like to take a case study of IIT Chennai, where the conventional step that they were following was that whenever the idea comes to a person's mind, they directly goes to the IP department. And many a times there was a hesitancy that whether I should go to the IP department or not. So there is a lot of time which get consumed, and sometimes the idea which is there fades away and it doesn't reach to the appropriate department. But generally their process is, whenever there is an idea, the person having an idea goes to the IP department, and IP department does an evaluation and they does a validation, which generally takes few months to conduct an initial search, and then to find out after a lot of communication, to and fro communication with the inventor, that yes, this is my idea, and then IP department suggests this is already there in the space, this is what is new in that. So those things are generally being covered in the search itself. It generally takes some time, and then a drafting phase and the prosecution phase of it, where lot of things happens as a process, and lot of time gets invested into it. Now, where our role is coming into picture. So we have an application named as Novelty Checker, where any idea that is being there can be evaluated through the system, and it has a very simple interface that any researcher who is having an idea in their mind can directly come to the platform and evaluate the search. Once the evaluation is done, then there are two things which happen. One, the innovator knows much more about their idea, like how their idea is different and what others are doing in the same space. They have a better space to brainstorm with the researcher, brainstorm with the attorney to file a better patent. And then drafting of patent happens in the same phase. So it cuts down a lot of time and space to find the evaluation of the ideas. So evaluation now can be done by the researcher himself. So how it helps? It helps the chances of rejection decreases considerably, because now you have done a lot of brainstorming initially, and when you are discussing with the person who is drafting the claims, you are pinpointing on that this is how my idea is unique and this is how I can protect this idea. So Novelty Checker is a space where anybody who is having idea in their mind, they can directly come to the platform, and there is no IP expertise is needed to done a search. The days are gone when you have to go to the a particular specific IP department to do a research. The initial research now can be done by the researcher himself. Now what we achieved in the organization through Novelty Checker IIT Madras, there is a 40% increase in the overall efficiency. What does it mean? That in 2018 to 19, there were only 132 applications that they were filing, and they also admitted that many of them, they have a very less amount of time to evaluate the them a lot. Not only their number of filing has increased, but they were able to file quality patents. In the next few years, we will be able to understand the ROI in a better way, because generally a patent takes few years to get published, and then granting takes some time. So in terms of number of patent applications, there is a 40% increase in the overall efficiency. Of course, there is another indication that they have given that they were able to file better patents. And what they have done, they have given access to the platform to each and every student of IIT Madras. Now, any student who has some idea in their mind, they can sit in a campus, they can sit in a park which is nearby, and they can open their laptop and just go to their internal portal, and from there onwards they can access the technology. Over that, they can access whether their idea has some potential, and then after they evaluate it by themselves, then they can go with the particular very specific report to the IP department, and this is how my idea is unique. So they have installed in the library, and everyone in the campus can access the system, and this eliminated the barrier of how the students can interact with the IP department. So the tool actually facilitated the student to do a deeper research by themselves. So other use cases, there are some universities using for preparing a potential of the idea report, using like landscape reports by SCTMST. CSIR is using it, Fraunhofer, IIT Kanpur, Chitkara University. Indian Patent Office is also trying to incorporate ExcelPAT technology specifically for speeding up the checking of the ideas, like whether those are unique or not. So that is how the tool is currently working in, and why it is important in the current stage in Indian universities, because the first thing, it has a global reach. There is no need of an IP expertise. You don't need to spend a lot of time to understand how the patents are being written, what are the unique points of it. Even in the low awareness stage, where researcher need expertise, where there is a scattered data, lack of ideation is there. That is where the novelty checker kind of a solution and other extensions can be really helpful. Along with this, there is another application that we have recently worked upon, which is named as TextScaper, which is specifically the use case of this application is, for example, within a university, there are a lot of research associates or PhD students who opt for the research areas. So, for example, if you have to opt for a research area like smart homes, and you want to see what kind of technologies that are already being there, how IoT kind of technologies are integrated into the homes. So that is where you can put that technology into the system. You can see what is already happening in the space, who are the companies who are working majorly, what are the problems they are trying to solve, and this somehow helps you to give you a focus, and you can explore these particular areas, and this can really help and help you to align a research into a direction which is not being explored earlier. So these are some of the applications. I would not spend much time on the presentation itself. I want you to see the product itself. My colleague Ranjan and Gaurav will, the experts from Excel Scout, ExcelPAT, they will take you through the demonstration. And in case if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So this is all from the presentation side. Maybe Ranjan can go ahead, and then maybe in the end we can take up these questions.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Pranav. So thanks a lot for, first of all, attending the webinar, to all the esteemed guests here. And I would also like to thank Komal ma'am and Pranav also to coming in and giving their inputs. So my name is Ranjan. I take care of the business in India for Excel Scout and ExcelPAT. So I will be walking you through the full module of Novelty Checker and TextScaper as discussed by Pranav. And we have a use case as well for it. We will test that. And through the module, I will also showcase the various features, what we can do as a user, as a researcher. And from there, we will test the use case. And if any questions are there, feel free to ask, or you can, put it in the chat box, and we can have that answered at the end of the session. Perfect. So as Pranav discussed, that there are the main use case of Novelty Checker is that there are many ideas which pop up from students, from researchers in the university, but not all of them are, can be patented. And this particular, more and more of ideas, put a burden in the university as well, and also to the third party consultancy or the patent attorney which they approach. So there's a time constraint also which is there in between. And the novelty checker is one of the module which helps you, shortlist your ideas, enhance the ideas as well. So basically, you have to just put in your idea in this disclosure box, and then we have a patent and non-patent data set of more than 130 million patent database and more than 200 million non-patent database covering more than 100 geographies. So that is the stature of the data set which we cover. And based on the technologies or based on the disclosure which the researcher puts in, all these data sets are run through the AI and ML algorithms, and from there the result sets comes up. After reading those data set, again the researcher can enhance the idea and concrete the idea, which could be filed, and a patent can be granted for it. So over here you can see this particular window. So it's a very, you can make out of it that it's a very user friendly window or the module. Over here you need to just put in the the title of your invention or the idea which you have, and just a gist or a disclosure which you feel that yes. So what one part is important in this disclosure is the novelty part. I guess if you put in the novelty in this disclosure, then it could be mean more to the system, as it will focus into that novelty part, and the result set will also be altered accordingly. So you have to just put in, basically, once, like, we all can have ideas about patents, have ideas in our minds. So what the basic filing process happens in India is like, you have the idea, you file a patent application, then that particular patent application goes, it's a time frame of about 18 months which is there before getting the final patent application, and that patent application getting filed or getting published into certain publications. So in that 18 months, the the researcher can amend certain things, certain filings about the research part or the idea part which he or she has, and after that, that goes into the patent attorney part. So from there, the patent attorney does certain checks, certain researches are being done, certain priority checks are being conducted by the authorities, which out of which then certain restrictions come up, certain prior arts, they found that yes, this particular idea is already published or has a patent which has been filed maybe 20-30 years before, and it's just the same replication of that particular patent. So there is nothing novelty in it. So basically, novelty means that something which is not done before. So for that, it is very important to know what has been done before. So the novelty checker is that one tool which will give all the data set of patents and the non-patent data set as well, which will clear your idea from that restriction of being categorized as a prior art and reject the application being rejected. That's why we can see in India most of the universities have huge application rates, but the ratio of application getting converted into the granted patents are very less. So again, that is one of the reasons, because those applications never become granted, because certain prior arts are always found, and then those applications are dumped up and doesn't become the patent, which is the ultimate motive of the researcher over here. So the novelty part, I would like to say, is that whatever idea you are presenting, you are filing, you're publicating it, that should be novel, or that means it shouldn't have any prior art which is there before the date of the filing. So hence the novelty checker is very important to get an idea what is there, and then again it's a process of finding a certain prior art, then again amending your idea based on the prior art you have found. So it's a to and fro process, and at the end of the day, you come up with an idea which is not being filed or which is there previously, and then you get the go through, and that particular application finally becomes a patent. So over here, you can see that the use case is of a window cleaning drone. So I have put in the disclosure part in this particular window, and I've just briefly described of what my innovation idea is. And in the title, I have just put in the window cleaning drone, kept it a broad one rather than narrowing it down, so that I get more relevant technologies in the prior ad as well. So as soon as I click on next, what it will do is that it will bifurcate this particular disclosure into certain key features. What you will find is that, as I was telling you, it has broken down the disclosure into certain key features. So basically, now though that particular disclosure has been bifurcated into certain sentences, and now based on these key features, all the analysis ahead will be taken ahead. So here you can star mark certain key features as well. Like for example, for me, the second key feature has the novelty part in it. So for me, that particular key feature is very important. So I star mark it. Again, I star mark the third feature as well. Based on the researcher's domain and researcher's knowledge, we can select these key features, and based on it, what this star mark will do is that it will lay more emphasis on these key features as compared to others. It will keep in priority these two key features over others, but the result set will be made out of all these 5 key features only. So it's a very simple process. You select the start key features, and then you go to the next. Over here is the CPC and IPC classification we have. So basically, for every patent, there is a CPC, IPC classification. So basically, these are nothing but technology domains. So based on the disclosure which we have put, the system has generated certain technology fields which it feels that are relevant to it. So we can use these particular technology domain as well to more focus our research, and maybe these particular technology contain certain data set which may be very important to us, and which may be the particular data set which would help us to strengthenize the idea and all. So over here you can see that all the technology fields which are there are based on the disclosure only which we put, which was a drone window cleaning drone. Once you click and select all the technology areas, we can again go to the next. And over here now the most important and the most novel part of novelty checker comes in. So Excel Scout, Excel Pad has world's largest technology dictionary in place. So what happens is that let's take an example over here. Let's take the word tablet. Now, for me, tablet could mean a medicine pill, but for another fellow, that particular tablet could mean a device or a smart tablet or a display system, something like that. So now that one word tablet has 2 different meaning for both of us. So now how the system will recognize that what meaning of tablet I want in my research. So for this, we have this technology dictionary in place, where we have certain key concepts which the machine learning algorithm takes in from the domain. And again, we have certain technical variations, or you can say that the synonyms of those words in place. So as you can see, if I click on drone, then it will give me all the synonyms of what drones are. So basically, I can call drone a helicopter, I can call drone a quadcopter, unmanned aerial vehicle, so forth and so on. So what we can do is we can select whatever the reliable keywords the researcher feels that yes, these can be be in place, or which can be used by certain researchers in place of drone. And if you want, you can also add a new variation as well, and once you add it, it will again go to the repository, and it will also be considered for the research. Similarly, if you feel that there are certain key concepts which needs to be added as well, we can add those key concepts as well, and once it is been added, again the synonyms will be popped up, and again you can add certain synonyms as well. So as soon as you click on proceed on result, this is the only input step which the system would be needing. And once you go through it, it will take around 2 to 3 minutes to get into the result data set to pop up. So now here you can see that all these are all patents and non-patent databases which the system has fed in, and showing you results on what are the different patents which have come up. So the first thing which I wanted to concentrate is that this is 769 patents. So this is a good number of data to read. So now we don't have that particular time to read all of them. So what we can do is that we can use the visualization feature of ExcelPad. So what does it does? It breaks all the technology or all the idea which you have put into certain subdomains. So what it has done, it has, you can see over here that unarmed aerial vehicle, cleaning head, window frame. There are certain subcategories which are there. So the machine learning algorithm has picked up these subcategories from the patent data set, from the 767 patent data set which is there, and it has subcategorized or auto-classified those patent set into those particular keyheads. For example, if I want to see unarmed air vehicle, so here you can see all the patents which say that these 92 patents which say unmanned air vehicle are listed in these particular key patent data set. So maybe for a researcher, he or she is into cleaning robot. So once you go and click on cleaning robot, it's again will showcase you only the patent or data set which is talking about cleaning robot. So that particular database will have more relevance as compared to something else. So again, the researcher can go read those particular data set and again refine his or her search based on it. So this particular visualization is a very important feature because nobody has the time to read all these 769 result sets which is there. Again, these are all patent data set which I am currently talking about. But if I want to go ahead and see what are the NPLs with there, which are the non-patent literature in it, so we can see that also. So there are 390 NPL searches for the same idea as well, which is one of the unique feature of this novelty checker is that if now a lot of concepts and a lot of disclosures are published in YouTube as well. So yeah, so what happens is that this particular system goes through those videos and goes through the captions of those videos as well. So if any word which is spoken which is relevant to your video, to your idea, is captured through the captions, those particular data set is also available for you in the non-patent literature, which is of huge use because now YouTube is growing like anything in India, and people talk about certain ideas, certain technologies, upload videos in their respective channels. Apart from that, there are all the major publishing house or IEEE documents which you can believe. It runs through all over those data set which I mentioned, around 200 million data set is there. And then again, you can see these are particular non-patent literature which are there. And then again, you can just go ahead, click on it, and that particular data set will be opened up, and then you can go ahead and read it as well. As you can see, this is the PDF version which gets open. So another very interesting feature of this particular novelty checker is that we have a reading bot in place as well. So what is the concept of reading bot? Here you can see there's this icon of reading bot, and once I click on it, we segregated the idea which we put in the very first step into different key features, and then we start mark certain key features as well. Now this is done for this purpose as well. So what this particular feature will do, when I click on view, it will segregate each and every patent based on these 5 key features, and it will give us a score for it. So for example, here you can see that, let's say key feature 3, here you can see is very important key feature for me. So now based on those key features, I want to see the patent data set which are there, which are talking about this particular key feature only. So now these are the particular scores which the system gives compared to every patent data set when we compare it with each and every key feature analysis. So now here it means that whatever the key feature 3 we put in the first place, 95% is the accuracy of that key feature 3 in this particular US patent. So now for me, if key feature 3 is very important, it becomes very important for me to read, like, I can sort the data according to my liking, and all the data will be getting sorted in a descending order as well. So here you can see there are good number of patents which are talking about key feature 3. So again, we can drill down from 700 patents to maybe 10-11 patents which are readable, and again which makes me as a researcher more enlightened about what are the various technology which are going on, and finding out certain interest areas, and at the end of the day amending my idea to get a filing and then getting into the grantation. So this is a very important feature of novelty checker as well. And over here you can see another thing. There's a button of generate report. So here you can just click on the patent which you want, and once you click on them, and let's say these two are the most important part of the patents which patent set which I have found. I want to create a self-generated report, and I click on generate report. It will automatically based on certain inputs, based on it will download a self-generated patent report, which you can again quickly go through, and all the key feature analysis which is there over here will be mapped in the patent as well, and then you can go and use a PDF format and read that as well. So apart from this, we have another tool which is known as ideation. So now I talked about key feature analysis, I talked about the various visualization part of this particular tool. Now what about the idea? How strong is the idea? What are our inputs to it, and what the system is giving me out as an output. So the ideation part, as soon as I click on this ideation part, it directs me to this particular window. Again, this is the most important part, if I want to say, in this particular tool, where over here you can see that these are the input data, input idea which we have given, and based on it, you will get all the documents which are talking about this. B, also what system does is system gives you certain machine suggested concepts as well. So this is a very important part for a researcher in novelty checker, where he or she can maybe the research is based on maybe wall surface. So as soon as I go into the wall surface, here you can see that all the subheads will also come up. So over here, the researcher get to know that what exactly is going into the market, or what other researchers are publishing based on the idea which is there. So again, the researcher can use these particular document data set and take certain takeaways from these data set, and then implement them into the idea, and again amend it, and again it becomes more concrete and more stronger idea. So our end objective is that if we use this particular novelty checker in the very early phases of our idea generation, of our research, what it will do is, there can be a use case where me as a researcher, I am into a research, and I have not had that liberty of researching through the data set which is there in my proximity, but I'm still going on with my research, and after a certain duration of time I found out that this particular research is already done by somebody. That's the scenario in most of the universities which is currently happening. So me as a researcher, I will lose my motivation as well, because I have spent almost 2 to 3 years in my researching, maybe in my PhD or in my engineering as well, in researching those ideas. But now I can find out that there are already documents maybe 20-30 years old which are talking about the same thing. So for me, it's very important, when a researcher is starting the research, they can use tools like novelty checker to refine the ideas. First check that what are the patent data sets which are there, what are the non-patent literature which is there, and then read those, because now currently the idea is on a very nurturing stage. Now that particular idea can be nurtured and made concrete, and that particular energy is also there with the researcher in place. That's why one of the use cases which Pranav was talking about, which was IIT Madras, what they have done is that they have access of the novelty checker, and they have given the access to the students in the library. So anybody can go to run a novelty checker search case, and then from there he or she can get to know that yes, what is the actual strength of the idea, and based on that how much more research is needed, or is that idea absolutely feasible or not. So again, the idea strength which I am talking about, it gives us this particular idea strength meter as well. So what does it does is that here it is showing medium, because it could, based on the algorithm and based on the AI technology, it based on what are the findings of the patent data set, the number of patents data set, number of NPL data set which the system has found regarding window cleaning drone is not that much, but still there are certain publications in place. That's why it is showing this particular idea in the medium range. So what we can do is that again we can refine our idea, again run a novelty checker search, and based on that we can again, maybe this, our objective is to make this medium too strong, because more your idea is strong, the more is likely that you will file a application, and that application being converted and getting into the granted phase. Because at the end of the day, if you have the patent in place, you have the protection of that idea, and you can also further use that idea, you can license that idea, you are the owner of that particular idea. So this is one of the major use case that why novelty checker is used and by most of the universities to screen out certain early phases idea, and then strengthen some good ones and have a concrete idea in place as well. So any doubt anybody has regarding the novelty checker which is there, we would be happy to answer any of that.
Yes, we have Professor Nirmala hand raised. I think she wants to ask the question. Please, ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Ranjan, I just wanted to ask you that you have said that for the novelty checker,
Right.
You have taken the example of a drone. So
Yes.
there are so many different kinds of drones, and for a researcher, what is the eligibility like out of maybe 10 steps or 15 steps which are followed? If 5 steps are similar or it needs less, so how does the researcher know that this is the eligibility criteria? Because in the big, some steps will be definitely similar. It will be only in some there may be difference. So how does the researcher then take it forward?
Right. So the main motive is that if he, as we were saying, that there are different kind of drones as well. So if the researcher has found that that particular drone is already there in certain publication or certain prior art, which he or she has found, then I guess there would be no use of going ahead and filing that particular patent, because for the examiner he will be very he will easily find out this particular prior art, and that particular application will be rejected. So if you find, what novelty means is that it should be something which is very new, which is not there, or it is written in such a way which amplifies that it is very new, which is not there, or which the earlier claims or the earlier publication doesn't signify. So what the researcher can do from here is that if he has found out that yes, this particular drone which he was working upon, or the 5-step or 6-step drone is already he has found in a research art, he can go through that and he can see that what exactly that particular paper is talking about and what his idea is talking about. And then based on, for example, I talked about this machine suggested concepts which I showed you. I'll again present the screen once. It will give you a better idea as well. So I guess you can see the screen, right? So yes. So now based on this drone part only, now maybe there would be certain other documents as well, which the researcher could found very interesting. Now he knows that this particular document has what I am trying to solve. So there is no point of me, solving that particular idea again. So I need to, revamp my idea. I need to, work or think in a different direction. Maybe I need not to, completely change my idea in place of drone, but yes, maybe some tweaks here and there. Maybe that particular drone is talking about, a robotic drone, or that this is a window cleaning drone. So this is an aerial drone. Maybe that particular drone is not talking about that particular feature. So maybe if I put in that aerial feature in the drone, maybe I get a chance of, those applications going through, and then getting maybe a chance of, with the examiner to check the application.
Yeah, because there are so many products in the department. Every product, whether it's a telephone or a food item, it comes with so many patents. That
Right.
means the patents have been filed by different researcher, and there was some tweaking where, so maybe researcher may be a bit confused, like where what changes have to be made to make it more acceptable, or that it is something new, different from that, because the product is going to be the same.
Yeah, absolutely. So here, what I'm trying to tell you, that once the researcher has found out that this A patent has the same innovation which he or she is talking about, then now there's no use of filing this idea in an application. He or she needs to, think differently, needs to have a different idea, which is not talking about all the patent documents or all the NPL documents which are there in the results. Then only the idea has certain chance of, getting filed, and it will get filed, but that particular application will not be converted into a granted patent.
Oh, okay.
Even I guess if you want to add something to this,
Sure.
we have also as well. So he is the R&D guy in Nexipad.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Please go ahead.
Sure. So regarding your question, so like you were saying that researchers, like some steps could be similar, right? Like let's say if there's a 10 steps, 5 steps could be similar. So with Novelty Checker, what you can do is you can evaluate your idea, and you can see if like people have already filed similar patents, or if like somebody has, or for example your technology is similar to somebody else's. So you can try to work around that, because if the technology is same, or if like the novel part, so for a patent, the most important thing is that it has to be novel, it has to be something new. If it's not new, then you won't get a patent. So you can read through the documents, and you can find a way around that, and then you can file a patent. I hope it answers your question.
Yeah, and one more thing, I wanted to know that you were talking about a non-patentable literature. So, from where do you fetch this data? Like, what are the sources from where you get NPL data?
Right, I'll showcase you that. Give me a minute.
Yeah, please.
Right. So this was the NPL screen which I showed you, right? These were the 390 result sets which were there of the NPL search. Now, if I go and click on filter, it will give me, or refine, it will give me all the data set which is there, which I was talking about in the very beginning of my presentation. So all the YouTube, all the journals, you can find out all the major publication house, all the major IEEE and all documents which are being published. You can go through these things, and these are covered in more than 100 plus geographies all over the world. So maybe if you want that, you want something from census it only, then you can again go to census and click on filter, and those particular results it will only come. So this is the whole complete result data set which the NPL covers. Like Wipo,
Yeah.
Yeah, WIPO, USPTO. So USPTO is the US patent office in US. It's over there. So again, it's a huge data set, and in which most of the non-patent literature would be found based upon all the technology which you have fed in, or the idea which you have fed in.
Yeah, Ranjan, I must say this is a very large, very extended and advanced search engine, and I think our participants have got idea about how they can
I have
reach.
one more thing to show as well. So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
was
please.
all about novelty checker. Now let me showcase you the product known as TextScaper, which Pranav was also speaking about. So what is the main motive of this particular product? So TextScaper, for somebody who is not coming from an IP background, getting to know about certain researches, certain technologies. For example, over here I have this smart home as well. So as soon as I click on smart home, it redirects me to the again a searching page in Excel Scout, which again showcase us that there are more than 47,000 patents which are talking about smart homes. So what TextScaper does is that it gives you a broader domain. It was the novelty checker was all about the disclosure. It extracted all the results based on the disclosure which we fed into the data. But TextScaper is from a holistic perspective. If I want to say that what is happening in window cleaning drones, or what are happening in drones, to again very early phases of the technology, very early phases of the research. If I want to check that, yes, maybe to take my research direction into the right place, then TextScaper holds a very important view. Over here again, we have 47,000 patents data set which is there. Then we have this taxonomy part. So what the USP of Excel Scout is that we make artificial intelligence explainable. So the tablet example which I gave to you earlier, holds significance in that. For me, tablet means medical pill. For another researcher, tablet means a mobile device. So for both of us, the word is tablet, but our definition is completely different. But how will this machine know that what the researcher wants is done by the taxonomy builder itself? So here you can see that I have made a taxonomy beforehand before coming to the session. So for example, this is a smart homes, divided all the major technology fields which are there. Again, system suggested concepts are there over here as well. If you feel that there are certain concepts which you need to have, which is of your interest, you can just put drag and drop these things and again define those things. So if I click on this pen, you can see that I have defined application in all the possible way an application can be defined with respect to smart home. So what I am doing, I am defining the application. I'm defining that word application, which is making the whole process explainable. So now once I have done defining the application, defining the taxonomy, I just need to run the taxonomy. And once I run the taxonomy, again, you can see how fast it is. It has again categorized these 47,000 results set into these taxonomies. So again, if something climate control in smart home is of my interest, I can just click on climate control and see what are these particular result sets which are there. Then only 10,000 documents will pull up in this particular part. Again, we have certain filters over here as well. Now, as I told you, this is a very broad domain. Another very key concept which the universities may be interested in, the researchers may be interested, is that they normally go for a collaboration with certain companies who are already doing that kind of research, or it is the other way around as well. So the companies also look for researchers who are researching in this particular domain, and then they collaborate, and then a product comes up into the picture. So over here again, you can see there is a signy list. So here you can also get a broad view that which are the major companies working in smart home, which are the major companies which are working in window cleaning drone. And as soon as I click on apply, it will give me only 6,350 patent data set, which are only from Samsung. Now, if I go ahead and found that this particular patent is very important for me, then yes, I know that Samsung is doing something like this. I can approach Samsung with my idea, and then we may collaborate and bring up a project. But it will be holded by Samsung, but yes, I will be also a big part in that. Again, there are various filters over here which you can play with. There's a years filter, there's an application filter, there's an inventors filters. Again, who are all the inventors which are there? And it doesn't stop over here as well. Then we have a complete data set of analytics. So the very first thing I was talking about, the automated concepts. What are the trending areas in smart homes in which all the people are working in? It gives me a good look into this particular thing. I can then go ahead and search all these patent data set. Like for example, I want to see the mobile communication part. I have to just click over here and all those 140 patents will pop up in my screen. Again, if I want to filter it from here, I can go ahead and filter based on the basically filter part as well. Another very important feature which we have built in Excel Scout is that we are world's first problem search engine. So we have worked extensively with Western University in Canada in bringing this problem search feature in Excel Scout. So what it does is that once you go through the problem analysis, for example, my problem is smart home. So it will pop up all the features, all the data set, all the US patent data set currently, which are talking about smart home and which is solving a problem related to smart home. So as soon as I click on this top problem, you can see that there are n number of concepts which have again come up. Now, services problem is one problem which is solved mostly by the companies. Here you can see there are 227 patents which are talking about servicing problem or which are discussing how to solve this particular service problem. It's not talking about just smart home. It is talking about how me as a researcher can solve this particular issue. This becomes again a very important part. Again, if I talk about this problem assignee, it talks about let's say a network problem. I want to see which are all the companies who are into network problems, which are solving network problems. So I know now if my initial research is based on network problem, I know that Samsung and Google are the two key players in this area. I can contact them. I can reach out to them. I can read the most stuff from these companies, and somehow I'll get that breakthrough idea, breakthrough direction in which I need to think, and maybe that particular thing be the way to getting that application converted into a granted patent. Again, this is very important at a very early stage of your research. I guess for me, if I am a researcher, I will start with the text paper. I'll get a holistic view of what my particular idea is saying for maybe my topic, my broader domain, and then come narrow it down, a top-down approach, and then come to a maybe a disclosure of 5 to 6 sentences, and then run that disclosure into novelty checker, and again get certain data set which are patent, which are non-patent, and again rerunning this process to strengthen the idea, so that our ultimate goal of the patent application being converted to the patent final granted patent gets fulfilled. So this is one of the things one of the many n number of analytics also which are there. There's this technology timeline graph. Again, it talks about the key technology areas which are there in the market. Over here, you can see that in the last few years, for example, this particular technology, which is information retrieval database structure, and therefore this is again a classification, have seen patents being filed in these technologies. So these are trending technologies which are there. So for me as a researcher, it's again become very important to look the areas in smart home which are trending a lot. Maybe I can research, I can get my direction from this particular graph as well. And again, if I restrict this particular features with my time filter, year filter as well, that it will again tell me what are those key technology trending areas which are being talked or which have been filed patents in 2022, 2020 and 2021. So this graph also becomes a very important for me as a researcher to know that what exactly is going around the technology area in my domain, and then again the overall motive of keep strengthening the idea and checking it and then filing a patent, so that my time is saved, the attorney's time is saved, and at the end of the day we come up with a granted patent in hand and not just an application, which is the major trend nowadays. As Pranav was telling about IIT Madras, their patent filing ratio has increased, and also the grant application to grant ratio has also increased a lot. Here we have this patent trend as well, which shows us that in which year, you can see normally the number of the red line denotes the application and the gray line denotes the patent. What is the ratio of patents to application? So we can increase this ratio, and which will fulfill our ultimate goal of getting a patent of our name.
Product is very vast, and to know about all the features of this product is not possible to cover in 2 or 3 hours.
Any questions?
Pranav, I just have a question that you were telling about the case study of IIT Chennai. So IIT Chennai is a very renowned and meritorious institution. अगर वहाँ पे ये problems आ रही है, तो as per your experience, the other universities in India, what problem they might be facing, and how your product can overcome these small issues in those universities? Because in universities like Punjab University, I would say, like any university sort of in India, what problems they might be facing and how your product can help them out.
So Mamta, very good question in this respect, because I think like IIT Madras is a tier 1 universities, comes under that batch, and they are among the top filers of patents in India in terms of universities. So if those universities are also facing some challenge with respect to protecting their ideas and then commercializing their ideas. So, and most of the Indian universities are currently in the awareness stage, where you need to create an awareness regarding what is the importance of patents. So the first important thing is the sessions and webinars like this that we are conducting today are really important, very, very much important, so that everyone can understand why these are important. And the success stories are very important, like how other universities are doing it in a better way, what kind of commercialization has been happened, rather than comparing it to the national standards. The comparison with the global standards is very important. How the Johns Hopkins universities were able to commercialize some of their technologies with respect to COVID testing. What kind of technologies all across in US universities or universities in the Silicon Valley, how they are approaching. So those kind of case studies are very important. And with respect to the tool acts as the product that we do have acts again as an enabler to every researcher. So we don't say that it should be bound to only the 1 or 2 professors who have a gist of doing a lot of innovation. They are already filing a lot of publication, but it should be given to everyone, so that people can think. Even if they have a very simple idea, they can put that idea into the system, and then they can realize like how the global platform is approaching over that onto that particular problem, and what are the solutions that are already there in the space. So I think that tools like this should be provided to everyone, because these are very simple to use. Anybody can use them. The awareness sessions are very important, and we would be happy to set up any kind of trial with few of the research professors, and if they have an understanding, and then we can open it up for the larger audience as well. So I think first, starting with the awareness stage, such kind of sessions that we are conducting today are very important. And second thing is giving it to some smaller audience who are the internal champions, who can understand the technology, who can enable, and within their classrooms, within their doctorate programs, they can enable such kind of platforms. And the third important thing, then once that is ready, then we can enable it for the whole university. That is how it can be approached.
Thank you, Pranav. And I must say one more thing, that success stories are important, but I would say unsuccessful stories are also very important, because we also learn a lot from unsuccessful cases. So yeah, we should also aware our researchers and students about the unsuccessful stories and how they are unsuccessful, so that we can overcome those issues.
Agreed. 100%
Agree.
on that.
And we have a question in the chat box. So,
Right.
Ranjan, can you tell to our participants that when and how they should approach your firm, and what are the service charges for what, like suppose anyone want to do novelty check, patent drafting, patent filing. So please tell our participant about your services.
So, hi Mamta, this is Gaurav here. So,
Yeah.
I think Pranav and Ranjan both explained very well the online platform. But in addition to that, we use these technologies, these platforms for our in-house analysis, like you're referring to the filing and the prosecution part. So, how we proceed with that is, once you have the idea, we'll analyze that idea on the novelty checker. We'll see what all prior arts are there. Based upon the initial insights that we obtain from there, we'll go ahead and recommend and compare that with the invention disclosure, and we'll make the recommendation how the claim can be written, how the novelty of the of the invention could be highlighted in a proper manner, and then we go for the filing. Of course, all these things goes parallelly with the consultation in consultation with the inventor. And once we file that, we go ahead with the other legal formalities that are there. There will be some office actions. There will be some citations of the references which are resembling to the invention disclosure. We'll again, once we have that office action, our experts will analyze that. They'll try to make a proper technical response and justify how our invention is novel over the provided prior art. And if required, we'll consult with the inventor. We'll see how those changes could be, how a couple of changes could be made, which will even make our claim more potent and ultimately leading to towards the granting of the patent. I'll give you a very quick example. I know we are running short of time. I'll give you a very quick example. There was a case where there was a difference in isomeric form of the chemical product. With that small difference only, we were able to get the patent, because the overall functioning of that patent of that product was varying at a very drastic level, which otherwise could not be justified in the different isomeric form which was already available. So these things, these are the kind of things which we normally implement during the prosecution process, during the claim writing process, in order to make the invention more unique and justify our claim of having a proper novelty in the given invention. So this is how we proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav, for answering the questions. And even we have got many questions in chat
Yeah.
box. So if
Yes, I have just put up a message in the chat box. This is the website link of Excel Scout. So anybody who is interested for our detailed demonstration of the tool and more other modules which we have can contact us through our website. And once you put on a query, we will, get back to you, and then we can have that planned demonstration in place.
yeah, thank you, Ranjan. This is great that anybody wants to reach out to you, they can reach out to you through your email ID. So we have got some questions in the chat box. Do you
Right.
want to? Yeah, do you want me to read out them?
I'll answer them one by one. So Mr.
Yeah.
Santosh has the question, is that Excelplat shows result country-wise or it is an international result? So as I told that we cover more than 100 plus geographies in all over the globe. So all those result set is based on those countries. So you even in the filter, you can have the filters of individual countries. So maybe you want the data set to be of, maybe you want some Chinese patents in it. So you can again go to the country filter and then go to China, and then all the data set from China will pop up.
Yeah, thanks, Gaurav, for answering the question so patiently and so wisely. And I would request and suggest our participant to reach out to TT Consultant to take services of Excel Scout. So, because research for a researcher, their research is very close to their heart, and they, I'm sure, want to secure it best way. So, they should reach out to your firm so that they can know how to exploit their research better. So thank you, Gaurav ji, Ranjan ji, and Pranav ji. And now I invite Professor Nirmala Chongtham, the coordinator of DST Center for Policy Research, for concluding remarks and vote of thanks. And before ma'am take over the stage, I would request every participant to switch on their camera so that we can capture this moment virtually for the future purpose. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Pranav, Ranjan, and Gaurav, for giving a very clear insight into your product, Excel Scout. And it is really very important because for a researcher to know whether they are going the right directions, and also your product can give a more better insight if it is going in the right direction. So it's very important because most of the in the institutes, like you took the example of IIT Chennai, these big institutes, they are mainly focused on research. So their accountability they have to show. But for the universities, and they have also a lot of funding also. But for the universities, sometimes becomes a bit difficult, and we shall surely try to talk to our administration if this your software can be, how it can be brought to the university, because nowadays there are so many different types of rankings, and all these come into the count, the number of patents filed, the number, so many things are there, and patent is one. And nowadays, because of the modern age, cutthroat cutthroat competition, everybody is there, and commercialization of the products is important. And for India, that is one part which I think we are lacking compared to all the developed countries. And it is picking up, but unfortunately we do not have a real in every center or university we don't have a proper cell where there is hand holding. A researcher is at lost where to start, what is the payment, and how. So the hassles are, so many hassles are there, and we do really hope that if some of these are cleared and the researcher does not have to think much about it, because of all these hassles, ultimately once they say, oh, let us just finish our PhD. So I think with new policies coming up, with the state governments, and also the university realizing this, things should come up. And we are very happy to learn all these things from you, and we will surely, you have given your email, and we will all encourage all the researchers to reach out to you to get some information about the payment, about the all things that can be worked out if they understand and know the importance about this. So thank you again for your team, and Miss Komal also, who was able to join for a short time. I really wanted her to talk with Professor Anupma, but she had also a meeting, so she had to leave. But we will connect again with her and see how things work out. So thank you everyone, all the researchers who have attended, and my team in this DST CPR who have been working all together. And also we are also thanks to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, because he has always been encouraging us to carry out these webinars, and it does help to some extent. At least we get an idea whether how much to take, what is the capacity for us to take it up. That depends. So thank you again, Excel Scout team, Titika, and then everybody who's present there, Professor Anupma and Sanjeev also. We thank them for their presence. So we will surely connect with you, and we look further to further interactions with you. So thank
Absolutely.
you.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.